Okay, you're welcome back, and let's continue from where we stopped. But don't forget that we already talked about the theories of Charles Darwin, and what did he say? He was talking about the fact that more organisms are given birth to than those that will survive. Like in a population whereby 10,000 have been given birth to, maybe it's only a few thousand that would survive. Then we have struggle for existence, struggle for existence. And don't forget, I also told you that the offspring tend to inherit their parent characters. Whether you like it or not, there are some things that I have that I got from my parents, and the same thing for all of us. Okay, so those are propounded by Charles Darwin. Okay, so let's look at the evidences of evolution. So, what are those things that we see around us that will make us say that, okay, wow, evolution has truly taken place? Now, one of them is what we call vestigial structures. Vestigial structure. What do I mean by vestigial structure? They are remains of evolution. Like when evolution has taken place now, what is left? Most times they are not always useful again. They are just redundant. Now, we have talked about the tailbones in human being, right? That is to tell us that the element used to have tail. I wonder how that will look like now if we are still running up and down with tail. Okay, but that is one of the evidences of evolution. Okay. Now, oh, this is organic evolution rather. Okay, then what else again? We have paleontological structure. We have comparative anatomy and morphology. We have biogeographical distributions of organisms. We have embryology. We have biochemistry. Then evidence of evolution. We have biochemical similarities, like the kind of connection that exists between organisms. You get the kind of connection that exists between organisms. If you are to do a complete analysis now, genetically, of human being, of dog, and of whale, you will discover that we have so much in common. Then we have molecular records, we have fossil record, we have comparative anatomy and embryology. These are evidence of evolution. Okay, so let's look at some of the past questions that I have here, like past JAMB questions. All these questions came from JAMB, like in the previous years. So that I would advise you to lay your hands on the past question and try to practice some more. Yes, okay. Now, which of the following is evidence of evolution? Which of the following is evidence of evolution? The A says that uh, homologous structures in different species, homologous structures in different species, then similarities in embryonic development. Similarities in embryonic development, we have fossils of extinct organisms, fossils of extinct organisms. Now, if you look at all of these points here, option A, option B, option C, all of them are all evidences of evolution. Homologous structures of different species. Now, please, what may confuse you here is the different species there, but don't forget that I told you that uh, uh, organism can evolve. All of them were the same thing before, but because of evolution, there is a kind of diversion. So another species will now come up from there. That is called speciation. That's called speciation. So it is an evidence of evolution. Similarities in embryonic development and fossil of extinct organisms too, or extinct organisms rather. All of these are evidences of evolution. So what do you think should be the answer? For me, the answer is A, is D rather, which is all of the above. The answer is D, which is all of the above. Okay, then the next one is the theory of evolution can be defined as. The theory of evolution can be defined as option A, the belief that all species were created in their current form. Please stay with me. No species was created in the way it is now, unless if it is a man-made species. There is evolution. We've all evolved, even plants. So that can never be the answer. Option B, the hypothesis that organisms strive to improve themselves over generations. That sounds good. The hypothesis that organisms strive to improve themselves over generations. That's like over a period of time. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we have anything that is better than that. Then option C, the idea that species change over time through natural process. That is also very good. That's also very good. Species change over time through natural process. That means they are not, they don't even, it's not even the strength now. It doesn't, the changes do not come from the species. It is natural. Then the next one, the concept that evolution occurs through a series of sudden and dramatic changes. No, there's nothing like sudden here. There's nothing like sudden when it comes to evolution because it does not happen suddenly. That's the reason why you cannot live to you can't live to the point that you get to see or to witness evolution. No, all of us would have gone. It is only the documentations that we get to see. You look at the picture and we'll be able to see, oh, all of these guys were like this, but look at the way we are now. So it is not sudden, it's not dramatic, it's not something that you can see. So let's go back to option B and option C. Okay, C says that the idea that species change over time through natural process, while B says the hypothesis that organisms strive. No, organisms do not strive to change themselves. They do not strive. It occurs naturally. So for this question number 2, the answer is C. Okay, so let's move on. Now, which of the following is an evolutionary trend commonly observed in organisms? Which of the following is an evolutionary trend commonly observed in organisms? Okay, option A, decrease complexity over time. You should know that can never be the answer. Why? I told you that evolution makes organisms what? More complex. So this guy is saying that there's what? Decrease complexity. No, take it out. So let's look at option B. Increase dependence on external resources. Increase dependence on external resources. Then let's look at option C. Increase genetic diversity within populations. Then option D, decrease adaptation to the environment. Now let's look at C again. C is the right answer. It says increase genetic diversity within population. Now, please, as a biology student, there are technical terms that you need to know. There are times that you may want to write like a sentence of 5 lines, but only one word can explain it to you. Now look at what this is saying. Decrease diversity within population. Pay attention. Within population means within the same species. That means all of them now that were one before, they will now start changing. That is one of the peculiarities of evolution. So the right answer is C. For number 3, the right answer is C. Okay. Then question number 4. Pentadactyl plan of the 4 limbs of frog, bird, horse, whale, and man is a proof of very simple. It's a proof of evolution. It's a proof of evolution. Okay, so we move to question number 5. Here we are. Okay, question number 5 says Ratus ratus, that is rat. Agama agama, that is the common lizard. Bufo regularis, that is toad, and Tilapia zili. Now, the order of evolutionary advancement of the above vertebrate is, they're asking you that, okay, if all of this now were to come from the same ancestors, what do you think would be the order? Now, let's look at it. We have rat, we have lizard, we have toad, we have tilapia. Now, if I were to choose, I'm going to start from being terrestrial, being aquatic to being terrestrial. Okay, so I'm going to start with tilapia. I'm going to start with tilapia, which is option D. Then from there, I come back to toad, I. Then from toad to agama, then from agama to rat. You would agree with me that rat is more complex than a lizard, right? Okay, so the answer for this question number 5 is D. Okay, then number 6. The sum of adaptive changes from pre-existing forms that have taken place over a long time, resulting in diversity of forms, structures, and functions among organisms is referred to as evolution also. This is 2019 JAMB question. 2019 JAMB question. Now, so I believe that is clear to you on evolution. If you still have issues with it, I would advise that you go back, watch this video again. Now, why did I ask you to go back? There is nothing more to evolution that have not been explained here. You get it now? There is nothing more to evolution that is not here. So we move to heredity. Now, there's an aspect of heredity that I explained in Prep Station 2023. So I would advise you go back to the video, watch it, and get more knowledge because you might need it. You might want to apply it to what I'm going to explain today. Okay, heredity. Now, is the transmission of biological characters. Pay attention. This is not transmission of money. It's not transmission of my father's property. No, it is biological characters, which means those characters that are found or that are inside the body of an organism from one generation to the other through gene, cooled down. Now, what did I say? I said through gene. That means this gene is what drives heredity. So you cannot practice the process of heredity, or you cannot inherit anything from your parents or from anybody if you do not have their genes inside your body. Are you there? If you do not have their genes inside your body, I look like my parents, my child look like me because I got a bit from my father, a bit from my mother, and I have given a bit to my child. Are you getting that now? Okay. Now, you may not look like your friends in school because you have nothing connecting two of you genetically. Okay. Now, the unit of heredity is the genes. I said that earlier. Now, these transmissible characters or traits include physical features such as height, skin complexion, size, and hair color, which means that all of these things we can pass them down. The mother can pass them down to the child. The father can pass them down to the child because they are driven by the genes. They are some of the factors now, or some of the characters present inside the blood. Okay, so let's move on. Hereditary traits are determined by genes. Now, a gene is composed of two different or similar alleles supplied by both parents. Now, I'll need you to pay attention to me. I use the word allele. Allele is not a word that is very pronounced in biology, especially our syllabus. Allele is not pronounced, but I saw it in the JAM question. So please, let's do justice to it. When you hear allele, an allele is an alternative form of a gene. Now look here now, somebody whose genotype is AS, right? This is the genotype of the person. So this AS being the genotype of the person, this A is an allele, this S is an allele, the A comes from one parent, the S comes from one parent. It's not possible for a child to have a genotype that will be completely exactly from the father, or that will be completely from the mother. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. One has to come from each of the parents. So that is the meaning of allele. So if you look at what I've written here, if you look at what is here, this is AA, this is TT, this is XX. Now pay attention. What we have here is AA. If you look at it, it is capital. It means that the capital A is dominant, right? The capital A is dominant. So what this person have now, what is in this person's body is called homozygous dominant A. So whatever is this A, whatever this A codes for now, will definitely be expressed by the child. Are you getting my point now? Will be expressed by the child. Now, look at this. So this is what? Capital and small. So maybe parent A has given the capital T, parent B has supplied the small t. So this child is having heterozygous for the T gene. Now, the point is, the capital T is dominant. This is going to be recessive. So let's say this capital T is coding for, let's say the T general now is coding for height. And the capital T means that it's going to be tall, while this means going to be short. So this child is going to be tall because the capital T is dominant over this one. So this one will be there, but it's going to be very, very quiet. We call it recessive gene. But if you look at this one now, both of them are small letters. It means that both of them are recessive. There's no competition. The two of them will express themselves. The child has inherited the small t, the small x rather, the recessive gene for the particular trait that this X code for. So it will definitely be express itself. Okay, so let's move on. Heritable and non-inheritable gene or traits. Now, not all traits are transmitted genetically. That means It is not all the characters that you have inherited that can be given to you by blood. Are you there now? Not all of them can be given by blood. Okay, come in, please. Not all of them can be given by blood. Now, they can be picked up environmentally. Take, for instance, you are always staying with someone who does a particular job. Let's say you spend most of your time with that person. Now, naturally, you may pick it up too. You may develop that skill too because you are always sitting with the person. It doesn't mean that you have it in your blood, no. But you have picked it up environmentally. That is why our parents always tell us that when you are in school, when you are in the midst of your friends, the way you behave matters so that you don't go pick up what is not good from your peers. Okay. Now, for example, we have table manners. Table manners is not a genetic trait. No, it is something that we learn. Mode of greeting. How do you greet people? It is not genetic. It is something that you learn. Your food choices is not genetic too. And parenting skill. Now, all of these are known as non-heritable traits because they cannot be passed down genetically. Yes, I'm not saying you cannot inherit them. You can learn them from your parent, but let's use the proper word. You cannot inherit, but you can pick them from your parent. My mother behaved in such a way, and I like it, so I decided to start behaving like her. That is not genetic. It is not heritable. I just look at it and I like it, and I decide to look at that. To start behaving like that. Then we have heritable traits. These are genetically transmissible traits, and they can be passed down genetically from one generation to another. Examples include your eye color. Yes, you cannot say you don't like your eye color, you want to change it. No, that's not possible. You can't say you don't like your skin color, even though people have been trying to do some kind of things to it now, but your natural skin color still stays. Are you getting it now? Your texture, your hair color, your hair texture, your height, all of these are heritable traits. And we have certain diseases like sickle cell anemia, diabetes, all of those things like that. Okay, we take a break now and we come back later.